Hello everyone, a very good morning. Today we are going to see the new syllabus, that is Pharmacy Council of India prescribed syllabus for second year B Pharmacy semester 3 Pharmaceutical Organic Chemistry, a chapter named benzene and its derivatives. We are going to see the first part of the chapter. Okay, so being chemistry, we have to be calm and study the organic chemistry. That is what our mantra is. So as per the syllabus, we are going to go for the first, that is A, analytical, synthetic and other evidences in derivation on structure of benzene. So everybody, I'm going to ask you, what are organic compounds classified as? Yes, they are classified as aliphatic compounds and aromatic compounds. When we say aliphatic compounds, they are acyclic compounds, whereas aromatic ones are cyclic compounds. Your aliphatic ones do not have delocalized pi electrons, whereas aromatic ones have delocalized pi electrons. Aliphatic can be synthesized, can have saturated as well as unsaturated compounds like alkanes and alkenes and alkynes. Aromatic ones are always unsaturated. Alicyclic have no specific aroma, however aromatic have a special aroma. Okay, going ahead with the first topic, which is benzene, I would like to first highlight that Michael Faraday first in 1825 isolated benzene, and he didn't know that it is benzene, but he determined that it is a compound with CNH ratio as 1:1. This was done long back in 1825 by Michael Faraday. After almost about 10 years, Szilard Mitslich determined the molecular formula of benzene, which is C6H6. He named it as benzene, Benzin, which was later known as benzene. And then in 1858, again 10 years later, Auguste Kekule proposed the carbon atoms can join to one another in the form of chain. Of course, everybody knows about his dream, that he dreamt, he was sleeping and he dreamt of a snake who wants to bite his own tail. And when he was viewing that, he understood that the carbon may not be in the straight chain, but they may be arranged like a ring, and pi bonds would be alternately arranged. And in 1865, Auguste Kekule offered us a benzene which we use today. So these were the three scientists who were pioneer in determining what is benzene and what is the structure of benzene and its molecular formula. So the Kekule structure which we know today is this, where I have benzene which pi 3 pi bonds, which is 6 pi electrons which are delocalized, which can roam together, and there are two resonating structures. So I have C6 and H6 which are arranged. It is important to note that the molecule is unusually stable, and because it is unusually stable, it is difficult for addition, for undergoing addition. Conjugation is always known by the overlapping of p orbitals. So all the pi electrons which are arranged in the benzene are overlapping, and they exist as shown in the two resonating structure, which can be shown as a high resonance hybrid, which is with the circle inside. So the inner circle indicates that the valence electrons are shared equally by the 6 carbons. Okay, coming to what exactly the benzene look like, it is very flat molecule. Why is the benzene flat? Benzene is flat basically due to the sigma bonds. All the sigma bonds make the benzene flat. However, all the sp2 hybridized carbon are perpendicular to that is the p orbitals are perpendicular to the ring. So all the 6 pi electrons are delocalized, and this is how my top view and the side view of the structure looks like. The top view shows us our normal benzene, where I have carbon which is sp2 hybridized. The angle is always 120 degrees when I say sp2 hybridized. So this is my S, this is my P, this is my P, and this is my unhybridized p orbital of this carbon. Again for this carbon, this is S, P, P, and unhybridized p orbital. These two unhybridized p orbital come together to form a pi bond. And this is the side view, which is showing the flat molecule and perpendicular p orbitals. Next, and the important part of this session is evidence, that is analytical, synthetic and other evidence in derivation of structure of benzene. So what is this evidence? Is how exactly Auguste Kekule proposed the structure, and why do we think that this structure is correct one? And there are few things which say that yes, the structure proposed by Auguste Kekule is correct. The first is analytical. Analytical means analyzing things. So what have they analyzed? They have determined an elemental analysis, that is how what elements are present in benzene, like carbon, hydrogen. They have determined the molecular weight, and they have come to the conclusion that yes, C to H ratio is 1:1, and the molecular formula proposed, that is C6H6, is correct. And this indicates that benzene has a higher unsaturated, is not typically a cyclic unsaturated compound but a cyclic unsaturated compound, because if we go and write a normal double bond containing 6 carbon alkene, we will not get hydrogen 6. Okay, so this can be only possible if the structure is arranged as Mr. Kekule has done, and hence analytical evidence proves that the structure proposed by Auguste Kekule was correct. Coming to the synthetic evidence, a synthetic evidence is important because if at all I say C6H6, I can arrange carbon into alicyclic thing and I may get an alkene. However, these alkenes and alkynes have a specific property of undergoing addition reactions in the presence of H2SO4, bromine, KMNO4. However, it was found that this benzene, when undergone these kind of reactions, do not give any kind of a reaction, which means that it is not similar to that of alkenes and alkynes. It is not undergoing addition reaction or these reactions because it is unusually stable, as I said, and addition is very difficult, and hence benzene has that particular structure which has 6 sides and 3 double bonds arranged, which is not like my acyclic alkene. It proves that synthetically that the structure proposed by Kekule is correct. Next are the other evidences which also reinforce our statements. The first is substitution of benzene. We all have seen alkenes. Whenever there is a substitution to an alkene, I get a substitution across the double bond. So if I have Br2, it gets added to both the sides. Okay, or else it depends upon which side to add, because all the double bonds are not same. So I may have an Markovnikov's rule or anti-Markovnikov's rule, and the addition takes place, substitution takes place, sorry, SN1, SN2. So there is an anti-Markovnikov's or Hoffman's degradation due to which the substitution takes place. However, because all the carbons and all the hydrogens are identical in benzene, if I go for a substitution reaction with bromine in the presence of FeBr3, I get bromobenzene, which is monobromobenzene, because all carbon are same. I cannot have this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, because all are same, and this reinforces that benzene has a cyclic structure with 6 carbons arranged in the form of a ring. Secondly, if at all we are adding a hydrogen to benzene, it requires 3 moles of hydrogen to get added across and to form a saturated component, that is cyclohexene. So these are the 2 reactions which shows that benzene reacted with bromine in the presence of FeBr3 gives me only monobromobenzene and not dibromo, because all the carbons are identical. Secondly, to saturate benzene we require 3 moles of hydrogen to form cyclohexane. So this proves that the structure proposed by Auguste Kekule is correct. So with this we complete the first part of the semester 3 chapter 1 of benzene and its derivatives, which talks about benzene and its structure and the evidences which proves this structure. Thank you so much for patiently listening this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.